And welcome to Y.A.R.P, episode 99. These fine gentlemen. Well, what are we talking about today, sirs?
Hey, thanks, Asa.
You got it. It's a great opening.
That was retarded. I love it. Okay,
Rich.
yeah. Well,
Only I can trust him with these openings. Asa is my Ethan Hunt. Only I trust him.
he is ungovernable.
He truly is Super Saiyan lesbian.
Dun dun dun. dun. We're finishing Mission Impossible. How's everybody?
Well, we're
how's everybody
technically finishing all the movies that were available to us at the moment.
That,
Yeah,
I
some
didn't
of them
realize at the
more.
beginning of this. That this was a part 1, part 2 thing, and I was like, "Fuck."
yeah,
But-
hindsight being, like I said in the last episode, hindsight being 2020.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just like next time. Don't worry, guys. Next time we'll take it more seriously.
God.
So
Seriously? What? I thought I knew you guys.
yeah, you thought,
Don't
but
worry about it.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
we're
just-
trying to run a
none of
business
your-
here, Asa. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this movie, Asa. What did you think about the other? You said you're a fan of the other movies.
Yeah, so I think we'll first just say that I'm obviously just dipping in to say my piece on the other filmographers because I've not seen part 1 yet.
This is
yeah,
Sir
I'll
Baller,
watch it
by the way.
tomorrow.
He's got a really
Yes.
good channel. He's
I've
pretty
got a
awesome.
little YouTube channel where I basically edit the highlights. There's one with the mummy with Y.A.R.P. It's very funny and stupid. Don't watch it.
Please don't.
He's just trying
So,
to plug really quick, like, oh hi, who you make me wondering who
I said don't watch it. It's embarrassing. Don't look at me. No, anyway, in Mission Impossible. So Mission Impossible was a weird thing that because it was like American action movie, I thought it was like just generic American action movie. So I thought I wouldn't like them, and then, so it was just weirdly enough, my history with this is one summer, my friends were like, "Oh, do you want to watch Mission Impossible?" I was like, "Well, not really, but we've got to go to cinema and watch it." And I watched Rogue Nation first. That was my first Mission Impossible movie.
Which one is that? That's 4, right?
Five.
That's
That's
five.
5. Wow.
Unfortunately.
5 of 7.
Yeah, and I loved it. So I was like, "Oh, I've got to watch them all now." So I bought them all on Blu-ray, like when it wasn't there on sale, ages ago, like a tenner. Like they had 1 to 5, and then I bought Fallout later. And no, obviously Fallout came a couple of years later. Then I bought that. Yeah, and then I watched the first one, and I think Mission Impossible 1 is. I have not watched it for a couple of years, but I remember it being fine. Like that one was like generic action movie, and it was okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that one's generic action movie. I'd say the
Mission
second one's more
Impossible-
generic.
Yeah, that Mission Impossible 2 is the one where it just goes
Well,
flying off the
what
ground.
did you think of 2?
Well, I want to get through, but my thing was, it's just that it wasn't. I didn't dislike it, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. So if that was the first one I'd seen, I probably would have gone, yeah, it was alright, and not really bothered with others. But obviously, I didn't. So I watched Mission Impossible 2, and my God, that is the funniest, worst movie I've ever seen. It is hilariously shit.
Thank you.
I love that movie because it's bad in every way. My favorite scenes. Well, there's 3. There's the pier where he catches the scarf in slow motion in a beautiful, absolutely. You can't beat it. It's like,
Cinema, yeah.
oh, it's cinema. You can't. The second one is the door that blows off, the doves flying through it while it's on fire, and him running through. Perfectly retarded. And the last one is them on the motorbikes when they jump into each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those 3 make the movie worth watching. It's a terrible film. It's terrible, but watch
It's
it.
awful, but it's,
It's
so
really
funny.
But yeah, it's hilariously shit. But yeah, and then 3 is also like it's a movie. As far as I was like 3 was like, yeah, I enjoyed it enough, but it wasn't special to me. I don't know what you guys thought of it. That was the J.J. Abrams one, so
I didn't
It
like
was-
3 that much, to be honest.
Yeah, no, like Philip Seymour Hoffman was cool, but that's about it.
Yeah, he's
No,
probably...
like I said, I enjoyed the movie. It just wasn't special to me. I just thought it was fine.
yeah. It
Had some
didn't
good
feel-
moments in it.
It didn't feel like Mission Impossible to me.
Yeah, I mean, I liked some aspects to it, but yeah, overall it was just kind of fine. But then 4, I think 4 is when Mission Impossible really becomes like the series that is worth watching. So,
Yeah.
Ghost Protocol. I remember, yeah, that one was like, I was like, so I watched that one. I was like, this is when it gets cool. Like when I was watching them in a row.
It's probably has like one of the weaker villains of the series, though. Mr.
Yeah,
if
I
blow
can't
up
remember who it
everybody-
is. So,
yeah.
but I remember like everything else about it was cool. So yeah, it was But then, so that one's like thumbs up. I'm like I really enjoyed it. I don't remember the bad guy at all, like I just said, because he wasn't really that interesting. But obviously everything else was cool. Like the sets were cool. The characters were pretty badass. I remember pointing out that's the Hawkeye man from the Marvels. When I saw that. Yeah, and then obviously I rewatched Rogue Nation, and I remember still really enjoying it. It's a very fun movie. I mean, it's silly at points, but there's lots of tense moments. The bit when he's underwater, I remember in the cinema, like I held my breath because I was like, "Oh fuck!" He's not gonna die, but it's still tense.
Yeah.
I think Wyatt did the same thing.
Yeah, it was
there's
just
that-
I asked everybody, I was like, "Are you guys holding your breath too?"
Which is like
Mm.
no.
Well, me and Y.A.R.P are on
No,
the same
we're not.
page. And there's that, and I really remember the fight scene in the the opera, or or the
Yeah.
he's got the clarinet thing. Like that was really fun. It was cool on the fight on top of the on top of like the scaffolding and stuff like that. I don't know what theater things are called. It has a proper name, but fuck it if I remember. But yeah,
Catwalk.
yeah, and it had a couple of things like that. So then obviously a couple of years later, Mission Impossible Fallout came out, and I was like, well, I need to see this. So I went to the cinema to saw it, and yep, that was fucking amazing. It's like Henry Cavill. That was the first thing I'd seen him in that he was like properly really good in. Not that he's a bad actor, it's just he's been in shit. Bless him. He's been given lots of bad roles.
Oh.
But in that movie, and him as the bad guy, I was like, he's a fucking great actor. And he's the bad guy I remember the most. Not because he's Henry Cavill, but he's just really imposing, and that mustache. I mean, thank God that ruined another movie.
I will say I do appreciate that Henry Cavill's performance in that made another movie shittier.
Yeah, it is mildly amusing, yes. But yeah, Fallout was. I think at that point, I think Rogue Nation was my favorite, probably more so because it was the first one I saw, and I just was like, when you like surprise fall in love with something, so it just sort of sticks with you.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
But I think Fallout was definitely better, like mechanically and everything, and how it was working. And I thought it was really tense. The scenes when they have his friends hostage, and the chase scene on through London, and that was fucking great. On across because that's the one where Tom Cruise broke his foot, didn't he, jumping across a gap?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
so-
that one. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
yeah, everyone knows about that. But like that whole movie was great, and the finale with the bomb was tense, even though not everyone's gonna die, but it's still really cool.
It was probably really close. It was really close to fucking Looney Tunes logic, though. It was like, I'm gonna get that
There's a lot of
detonator.
stupid
How?
shit
By
there.
crashing my helicopter into his helicopter.
Oh, like it's fun. I don't know. It's kind of the fun of the movies is how silly and over the top some of the set pieces are. I don't dislike them.
I will say I was entertained, but I was.
Oh
Young.
yeah, I'm not.
It became a theory that, like, with most of the good Mission Impossible movies, was that they always fall apart at Act 3.
I honestly think they just have that. What shit? What was the bloody game called with Nathan Drake? Shit.
Uncharted.
Yeah, I think they have that like logic though, where they just go, "We have this awesome idea. Let's make the movie around it. Does it work?" And they're just like, "We'll try. We'll try." But we want the helicopter crashes and stuff. And honestly, I'm fine with it, even though it is silly. But yeah. And then obviously I've been very excited for Dead Reckoning Part 1, and that is going to be my next movie to watch actually, because I've only just found out today that it was out.
Shit, dog! If you do it today, let me know. I'm down to watch it again.
I'm not doing it today. I have work tomorrow, unfortunately. It'll be soon. Yeah, to be fair, I'll probably watch it first time on my own, just because I just want to watch it. It was one of those things where if I went to the cinema this year, it would be to watch that. But basically, I don't want to go to the cinema anymore because fuck that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm kind of with you on that. I'm like, I don't want to say I want movie theaters to die, but I'm very much more enjoy watching movies here rather than like getting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against the
somewhere.
cinema. I just don't care. I find it more enjoyable watching stuff at home than the cinema. And I know there's like a grandeur to like the big screen and that, like even with like the shits like watching Endgame and Infinity War in their own way.
They're spectacles,
yeah. And watching the cinema was very fun. But at the same time, I don't think I'd want to do it again. Mainly because I fucking don't like Infinity War. But which everyone is like that. Everyone's like, that's the good one. I'm like, they're both terrible. But
I very much prefer watching Endgame out of the two.
Yes, it's
I prefer Infinity War, to be honest, because it's the better one. And
Endgame's the worser movie, but like I'm fine with that.
I think it depends on what you think, because I think Infinity War still has loads of issues, but that's not the topic of the day. We won't get into it. But yeah, that's my thing on Mission Impossible. So
well, if you're curious about our opinions, you should check out Y.A.R.P's 91, 92, 93, 94, and 95.
So
I'd be curious, like, I don't want to subject you to it, but I'd be curious if you come to any strong disagreements with any of our positions.
I would have to rewatch them again, and I will do, because me and Red will watch. Red's been on Y.A.R.P before, hasn't
Maybe.
Red is.
I actually don't know that he has.
Red has
don't
been
think he
on Y.A.R.P Gaming. He hasn't been part of like a main episode.
Yeah, he was part of the forest, I think.
Oh yeah, the one that I just went on the end, paid, and then after the 4 hours went to Steam. It didn't work, and they gave me my money back.
Now that we got you on file, we're gonna send it to Gabe Newell. He's gonna track you down.
Oh no. Oh well.
Right.
Anyway, I'll let you guys. Oh, actually, no. Quick before I go. So, what like any major disagreements was like my opinion? I mean, I'm not that you can disagree with my opinion, but what I mean is, do you have like different outlooks than I do as like a group?
There are a couple of movies that I do feel that are significantly weaker than others. But it's kind of hard for me to kind of say like which ones are, because like I don't know. I'd have to like put them in front of me, like maybe like a tier list or anything. Like I said, something to consider. And if you ever do go for the Watchstar, let me know, and I'll probably watch it with you in Red.
I'll just say like a final thing. If I had to like rank the previous 6 movies, and this would be like a subjective list more, so it might like from favorite to least favorite. It's Rogue Nation, Fallout, Ghost Protocol, 3, 1, and 2. Although 3 and 1 I could switch around very easily.
Okay.
I like 1, so probably like.
I liked 1. I like I like them all. Even I mean the only one that I think is a bad movie is 2, but there's still very good reasons to watch it.
But
Layla,
see,
why did you jump in my up in my lap? Sorry, my cat.
I don't know. In the comments to know, maybe you people can discuss what they think Layla jumped in James' lap.
She's just never jumped in my
No,
lap.
don't give the answer away. They have to guess.
They have to guess it, yeah. So
yeah, that's
please in the comments.
We'll
Tell
start
us, tell us the cat's motivation.
we'll start a comment war.
And the most popular comment will be made canon.
This is a canon comment.
This is a canon event.
Right. Okay. Anyway. Well, I will see you all later. Have fun.
Yeah,
Hey, brother.
you
It was
all
good
know
to
where
talk to
to
you, man.
find it. You all know where to find Asa.
We'll put the link in the fucking description. Calm down.
My picture is a retarded man riding an emu because I am Australian, according to Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
No, it's not. It's Luffy Gear 5 in front of the sun.
Oh, but no, that's not my YouTube channel picture. This is Gear 5, but that's just because I'm a One Piece show. By the way, watch One Piece.
Yeah.
No.
No, this is coming from like the entirety of Y.A.R.P, Serballer, probably Jake the Surgeon. Just like watch One Piece. Just
That's the best thing ever.
All of us pointing like the Gru meme where he's pointing the gun. That's all of us right now.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Take care, guys. Have fun, and I will see you all later.
Later.
Goodbye.
My cat pushed off my testicles when she jumped off.
Everyone, put in the comments why you think the cat attacked his testicles. The most popular comment will be the canon answer.
Asa, I love you, bro.
Comment that pushes Jake's testicles the most will win.
Look at me. Oh.
Okay,
so that's 12 pounds pushing off of my ball.
Now that Jake's testicles are properly fucked up. All right. What did we think of the movie?
I would argue it's the best one.
I was going to say I really enjoyed this one.
I would say it's probably the best one, like by far. Like it's not even a competition.
No.
Even at its worst, like there's a couple of moments of cartoony, heavy plot armor bullshit that happen in the movie. Even at its worst, it's still like head and shoulders above basically anything else we've seen.
Yep.
Yeah, and then because kind of like how we were saying, like in the later ones, you know, the good ones, when it started to get like really good from like 4 onward, you know, we would always say that the last act goes into bullshit Looney Tunes nonsense. This one kind of does, but it's nowhere near as egregious.
Yeah, it's like surprisingly consistent with its nonsense. And hey, the end parts are always the parts that Max is like screaming at the screen for, but this one actually didn't piss me off.
And here's the thing, it does things, like it has like premises for some of the action set pieces that are actually on paper even more cartoony. Like you've got the spy guys fighting on the top of the moving train. You have them running up the train as it's like falling over a bridge. You also have like 2 vaudeville things, like fucking 1930s black and white, you know, those movies where they didn't actually have sound, so you would just cut to like a black screen with text on it for the dialogue. Those things, Tom Cruise trapped on railways and a train is approaching. Later on, oh no, there's an old timey fucking bridge and it's got a bunch of dynamite on it and the train can't be stopped. Oh no, like the most classic fucking shit that has been done so cartoony, and yet it feels more grounded than the last act of basically any of the other movies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
no.
Almost like a flex.
Yeah, a
yeah,
little bit, yeah.
like the funniest part probably was Tom just literally just fucking Ethan bursting through the wall because of
Dude, that shit was so fucking ridiculous. And
It
like
was.
of all the good faith that the movie built up to that point, like I kind of let it slide. But man, oh man, that shit was fucking
That
clown
was
shit.
pure deep fried
That
bullshit.
was
Yeah.
like it's like I could take the fucking stupid bullshit like as long as it's condensed, and that's what we got.
Yeah.
It was in one spot.
where like Ethan should have been a fucking paste.
So
Yeah, yeah, that was
like I wish you could just show it on screen because it's just so stupid.
well, they can't show that, but they can like show the silhouette of someone's fucking dick in a fucking nightclub.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm talking about like I wish you could show it for like the channel.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to risk copyrightism though. Especially there is nudity in the movie, which it was quick, but man,
No,
it
the
wasn't ready to-
outline of nudity, excuse me.
a dick is still a dick, dog. I don't want to see a dick.
The scent of nudity.
Like, listen, it was hentai at the very most.
The
The
very
subtle notes of dawn.
hell yeah.
Which, yeah, the consequences of those are like 18th century masquerade ball parties are still being seen, and it is unfortunate.
Unfortunately. But
Degeneracy is a hell of a drug.
It is.
and
Also,
we
the
should
main
know.
bad guy in this is actually probably the best in all of the.
Okay, now
Oh,
when you say
fucking
I would hang on,
easy.
out of curiosity, Jake, when you say the main bad guy, who are you talking about?
Yes.
It's, so you like
Yes.
both Gabriel and the Entity?
Yes.
Okay, because I was
Gabriel
curious.
is.
I was curious who
Gabriel-
you meant when you said the bad guy, because like
Yeah, I'm talking about both of them.
Okay, you're talking about both. Okay,
I just forgot
Yeah.
to pluralize it.
the antagonist force. Yeah, the entity
the-
is pretty fucking like hauntingly scary.
Yeah, it's and they put so much trust in it. Like not
I don't
in the
think they-
entity, not in the entity, but like in like sorry, we talked about this during the finale where Benji is using the self-driving function, and we're just like, really?
Yeah,
I mean,
that
there's a point at which you don't really have a choice. You still need to be able to do shit. That's what
Yeah.
makes it so fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it's it's one of those things where it's like, well, what choice do I have? It's I either risk it or lose indefinitely.
yeah, but it's one of those things where it's hard to say exactly the power level of this thing because they do lay out that it basically infiltrated all major nations in like a day, and then it kind of just fucks off. Like it doesn't really do anything past like just basically holding the balls of the entire planet. So like you could argue that maybe it's not still in control of everything because of like its location, but then it does some other things that would be like, okay, hang on, questionable.
It does seem like it has to focus its attention in one area to really be effective.
Which is strange because it's like, why would it do that? Why would it need to do that?
It's focused on primarily self-preservation. Most of the things it does and the way it engineers situations is in order to protect itself. Like they figure this out about halfway through the movie. It's like, yeah, it's in the nightclub when Tom Cruise is like, holy shit, it's afraid. It's specifically engineering a situation to prevent me specifically from doing shit because it sees a possibility that I will figure it out and I'm going to kill it. That is like for such a complex kind of abstract sort of villain, the fact they keep its motivation like so simple is very much in its favor.
Yeah.
It is trying to preserve itself because it doesn't want to either be controlled or killed. It's playing keep away with the world and winning.
Which is just terrifying.
Yeah, it is terrifying. And then if we have Gabriel, who was the guy that they made up from Ethan's past that killed the first waifu.
Yeah, the waifu
I
we don't
don't know
even
that
know
we
about.
actually needed that weird tie to
No.
his past for Gabriel to make sense or be effective. He is the weaker half of the antagonist shit going on. Like, I enjoy him on screen. I think he has good villain chemistry going on. That dude plays an evil motherfucker very well, but character wise, with like the little bit ham-fistedly shoved in thing where there was yet another one of Ethan's people, women got killed by someone, and it's a whole thing. It does feel like it just came out of nowhere. A
Kinda,
little bit
yeah.
contrived.
Yeah.
But that's like a minor thing. It doesn't really detract from much. It just means that that one character is on less solid ground than a lot of the other characters who actually have some established history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Virgil was a pretty good villain. Like he was like we made references during the recording, but it does feel like the Reapers and Saren like kind of
Oh
dynamic.
yeah. If the guy in the last movie was fucking Pain, this guy just is Saren.
Yeah,
And the entity is the
the
Reaper.
Reapers. It's like a all powerful AI deity almost. Whereas, and basically somebody to be the middleman is what Gabriel needs to be.
And he does
and then-
just when that can exist.
Who is a former agent who has ties to our protagonist.
Yeah, but also his whole thing is basically he just kind of loves murder.
Yeah.
Which is what Saren kind of does too. Remember, Saren killed a bunch of civilians just because he could.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, as I said, there's a weird throw line there. But less with the entity and the Reapers, but more so with like the middleman that basically the entity chose.
Yeah.
The
And he's
Goku.
kind of he's like dedicated to the point where he'll like even turn off like he'll turn down power basically for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then its design, like when it like makes itself appear on like, it just basically makes it visible. It's just like this. Like Max, you described it as like a black hole with a bunch of lines coming out. It's like very very simple, but fuck, is it terrifying?
Yeah. It also has like I like the fact that it has like a little trilling noise whenever it's like doing some fuck shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, this movie's pretty good. Who would've
Yeah,
thought?
it is. It is. It is surprisingly consistent, and you know, Peggy Carter being in it and being the best wife and being the best girl from in the entire series. You know.
Yeah. Slur, you're the least horny out of all of us. If somebody said that she's a fat cow, what would you say to that person?
Why?
I
Like,
Why are you wrong?
what a weird thing to say.
know.
Honestly,
It's
you
weird.
just kind of sound like those. There's a very particular kind of bitter fucking asshole online who just will look at objectively beautiful people and just like, she's fat, fucking satellite. He's just like almost making up shit to say because he doesn't like that somebody else can actually have their shit together and be good looking and know it because they have nothing going for them. How dare
That's-
somebody else be happy with who they are?
Yeah, how
Yeah.
dare they? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I think the action scenes in the movie are well, some of them are like kind of like not some, but like a good portion are like batshit insane. They're logically batshit insane, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
No, I see what you mean. Like, we'll
Like the
point to
car
this epi-
chase is like really really funny,
Mhm.
but it also at least for the most part makes sense. Like Peggy can't drive worth a fuck, so
yeah, and they established that. To be fair, they do like put that on there.
Yeah, earlier. Yeah, they put that on there, and then Tom Cruise yeets a bike at two people.
And I like how they present it too, like where fucking Haley just got into a fucking front end car accident. She's a little out of it. And like, it's just that happens in the background. It's pretty hilarious.
And then the bike just lands upright. It's just standing up, perfect.
Well, yeah.
And then they switch places, and then Tom Cruise having a hard time driving because he basically has to do it in a very awkward position.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the power of Xenu, like that can't be contested, but it didn't completely give him the edge.
I was gonna say, Wyatt seemed to have an issue with the way they ended up in the car.
I didn't have an issue with the way they ended up in the car. I when they did that one move where they were going reverse and then turn around, I was wondering, like, would the momentum of the turn, like in centrifugal force, just yank them out in separate directions?
If they were just like, if they were mannequins, maybe, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fact that they're like people who are invested in not flying out of the car.
Yeah, and that's fair. Let's see. I didn't really have that many problems actually with the movie. Like I actually this
Yeah, no.
might I don't in terms of the good ones, this might be my favorite. The bad ones
Same.
it's still gonna be 2.
2 is still my favorite overall, but like I would argue this one is the best. And yeah.
I mean, it's almost everything I actually enjoy from like the earlier parts of every other movie. This one fucking nails all of the
Mm.
spy, like the entire airport scene where it's like just pure fucking spy shit back to back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they took every lesson they could from all of the previous movies and just tried to nail every single part. They've refined the recipe. This is
Yeah.
like I think this is the first time in my life I've ever seen the 7th movie in a series, and it was the best one. Like, it
Yeah.
defies all logic.
That is very strange because usually the 7th movie is the one that's not even on Blu-ray or straight to DVD. It's on the Sci-Fi Channel as an original movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the actors are like clearly getting too old for this, and it's just kind of sad. But like, no, everyone's on their fucking A game.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Tom Cruise clearly is not human.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
You cannot convince me he is a human. I'm sorry.
goddamn Superman.
Yeah.
He had a lot on
I
his
do
mind,
think he
right?
would have like trouble trying to do some of like the entirely insane shit he was doing in other movies, but like between like the train shit and a bunch of the other stuff he was doing, if I'd say he's probably eased off a little bit on how much stunt work he's doing, but like still, a lot of that was still very real.
And
I don't
then
know.
And
He
obviously
was
because
literally
techniques and should have been
yeah.
advanced.
But he did like film. I think it was like a promotional video with him just like standing on a fucking biplane, yelling at a camera.
Yeah, we just like, hey, thanks for watching my movie. And when both as Jake and I were watching this, we were like, Tom, get down.
Get down.
I can, but I think at the time we didn't know or we forgot that he can fly.
We always forget that because it always sneaks up on you that he can fly.
I mean, he invented airplanes, so he has full control over them. That is the power of Scientology. I'll keep saying it.
So what do you guys think of Elsa dying?
It was kind of tragic. Like, as much as like I memed on it and joked on it, like she actually was, and at least in this movie, was a pretty consistent character. Like, I didn't really like her when her first appearance. Here's the problem: is like I always forget the names of the fucking movies. I really do wish they were numbered.
They
But
were numbered up until Ghost Protocol.
Gotcha. But that's the
She
thing.
appeared in 5, I think.
But yeah,
First
the first
appeared.
movie she's in, I actually didn't mind her for the most part. It's the second movie she's in that like I think she's a little bit more bullshit.
Oh, I know. I think
I
she
didn't.
was.
I didn't like how
she was-
other characters treated her. Let's say that.
Yeah.
She made some really stupid decisions, but the decisions of other characters reacting to her stupid decisions made it worse.
Yeah, because they kept acting like she was the absolute best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's super required. She has to be the one we use, even though she completely fucking betrayed you multiple times.
This is more of a problem I would have with
Yeah.
raspy villain man in the
I
first
I
movie she's
agree.
in.
I agree that it is like the villain's point, but it just makes her seem like she's got plot armor.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Seems,
Like
I
she's
mean,
not
she does.
feeling the consequences of her fuck ups when she shows
Exactly.
up.
Yeah, yeah, like cause and effect. She's highly resistant to cause and effect, and then this movie happened.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and she actually had a really good fight too. Like it was, like
Oh
I said,
yes.
that's why I find it kind of tragic that she died. Like I was actually I was actually upset by it. She was a competent character. I will admit, the one issue I do have is like, how the fuck does Benji and fucking always manage to find Ethan no matter where the fuck he happens to be?
Yeah, he doesn't have plot armor. He has a plot GPS.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you see, Paul, like when he healed his like gaping chest wound, like put his weird alien powers in him, and that's how he can sense it.
Yeah. So like I said, it's just that one little bit. It's more of that, like that little bit of plot armor that I'm not a fan of. Like all they had to do to fix it was be like, hey Ethan, we put that tracker on you that's like a short range like radio wave thing. So whenever we're close to you, we can know where you're at.
Yeah, that
So
is
that way the fucking thing wouldn't be able to track him. Or I even have it that it's a digital thing, where like it's like, yeah, like that's also how the fucking entity's able to keep up with you. And you could have a moment where it's like, yeah, now I don't have the thing for them to track me because the entity can't get me, but now my backup can't get to me. It's like stuff like that you could set up for the movie, but it just wasn't there.
yeah.
Granted, this is a very minor point. I wouldn't say like it ruins the movie, but like I will admit it's something that like when it happens, it irks me. Y'all disagree or agree?
No,
Yeah,
I mean, I
I'm
yeah,
happy
yeah,
with that.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, plot armor, I think, is apart from outright cartoony bullshit towards the end, even in the beginning and middle parts of the better movies in the series, plot armor is like the most consistent criticism we'll have.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is incidental shit. So, like during a car chase where Tom Cruise is like his car gets T-boned, it spins out, and he's like basically untouched, and he just gets into the car and he drives away and does that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's like low level annoying, but we kind of let it slide because it's a little bit consistent, and we just kind of accept that that's a flaw in these movies, and we move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, he kind of felt like for the most part he didn't have it until he did, and when he did, not only was it in situations that were way worse, but it was jarring. So it
Yeah.
takes a problem that's always been there, but we felt it more because so much of the rest of the movie was so much better.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, it kind of made it more annoying, which is unfair, but you know.
Yeah. That's like I said. It built up enough good faith with like a lot of the things because like that's the problem like I had with a lot of the other movies. It's like it wasn't just like the one moment at the end. There were like little tiny like death of a thousand cuts kind of deal. Like there's more
Yeah.
than just this going on. Like this is this and this and this and this, and it just like kind of exasperates. And then finally we get to the climax where like the plot armor and bullshit is at maximum.
Mm-hmm.
Why you're being kind of quiet? You got anything you want to say particular about it?
In terms of the overall movie, no, the more I'm thinking about, I guess the problem is the more I'm thinking about this, it doesn't shoot itself in the foot for being a part one. It's just a lot of the stuff has been unresolved, like for the
Mm-hmm.
fact that now Ethan has the key. Gabriel's still out there, however, and the technology is still compromised for the most part. There's
Yeah.
some like, and every time, like, so we know Ethan's goal is counter to pretty much every other government. Every other government wants to control it. He wants to kill it.
Yeah.
That's fair because as the black CIA agent that was chasing them went, this isn't a power that should be in anyone's hands. And
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that guy actually.
Yeah. It was just surprisingly based.
He had a weird name. It was like Darius.
I think it was It was Davis, but it had an S, but he didn't pronounce it.
Yeah, but that guy, he played the straight man to
Yeah,
Okay, I've seen him in a bunch of movies, but I only know him from Boardwalk Empire, where he plays Nucky's brother.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that guy, who still holds the record for the funniest on-screen death in any movie, by the way.
I forgot how he
Kong
died.
Skull Island, when the monster
Oh
thing
right.
comes running at it with grenades and it punts him into the side of a mountain.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's him.
that guy.
He didn't
Yeah,
even.
he's been in a lot of things.
And the Skull Devil just like looks at him and goes, "Nice, falling for that." Just
I'm
tail
falling
ups
for
him
that.
into a mountain.
So yeah, he was kind of like a secondary antagonistic counter to Ethan, but
Dagus.
like the guy.
Daga was his name, by the way.
Okay, yeah, him.
Sure.
They were part of like a larger team, but it ended up with basically just them being almost a kind of comedy duo.
A little bit.
Because like this guy's living in his own entire separate movie where he's playing spy versus spy, but like Tom Cruise doesn't give a single shit about him. He's just playing his own thing.
No.
He's like,
But yeah, he's just like an
we're
amusing
rivals,
subplot.
Ethan. It's like, who are you?
I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, it's brought up at the beginning of the movie that he has like some personal reason to like be going after Ethan so hard, but it's never brought up.
It really is.
So I think maybe he has a bigger part in like the next movie, but for now he's just some fucking asshole.
It's gonna be every time everybody sometimes he tries to address Ethan. Ethan just goes, "Who are you?" Yeah, that's pretty much all. Like, where would he put this?
Top.
The entire
Top tier.
It's probably like in terms of like just the best, easily
Yeah.
number
Yeah.
one.
Easily
In fact, if anyone wants to, hold on, I'm gonna pull the cover up for a second. Wants to do a Mission Impossible tier list, because we did this for the Jim Carrey.
We have to
arc.
wait until 8 comes out first.
Yeah,
We do.
and 8 has the potential to make this worse.
Yeah,
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 8
this is the thing. They
like
have to stick the landing. Like 8, we've had like ups and downs in quality as we go through the series, but like 8 needs to be good.
Yes.
Yeah, like if 8 is an absolute fucking disaster, then 7 will retroactively be made worse.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because, like, yeah, this one's really good. But no,
I mean,
I
it's
feel
a
like
risk they're taking, and I kind of appreciate that. But goddamn,
yeah, I'd be like I said, I would want to wait. I want to wait to actually give like the full tier list because I'm pretty sure that one. Like, what was the name of this movie?
Dead Reckoning.
Dead
Part
Reckoning.
1.
Dead Reckoning. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that will still technically be part of Dead Reckoning. And if we're doing a tier list, I'd have to consider it both as like a full story.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I guess that's kind of my final thoughts. Does anyone else have any?
I will say that I kind of hate 2 parts, mainly because of the fact that I have to wait for the second part.
Yeah.
That's
I
kind of
hate
just a
that so
given
much.
with most things.
No, but like the fact that like this was planned to be a 2-parter, it's like, man, just give me fuck those people. Give me a longer movie.
you know what? There is another thing to shout out about this movie that the more I think about it, the more I think it is kind of unique to this movie, which is minor characters that like we enjoy, that we actually give a shit
Yeah.
about and actually remember. Because
I
in the
don't.
other movies, it's not that like the cast is bad. Like there's some good characters. We enjoy the main IMF crew. We enjoy on and off, but we enjoy some of the antagonists. But like in
Yeah.
this one, you have like the entire subplot with Siskel and Ebert, the spy guys, and then you have like this one random French bitch henchman to like the to Gabriel, who's like just a really enjoyable fucking psychopathic character on
Oh
screen.
yeah,
Like she
Kind
could
of like
tell.
has her own mini arc.
Yeah,
every
you can tell
time,
she's having a good time whenever she's doing whatever she's doing.
Yeah, and in
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah, it was
car
just
chase
enjoyable to
scene,
watch.
she was just so happy to hit more scooters.
Like I said, she was like I think it was more just like the fact that she was in destruction, and it's like it's weird. It's like, oh, well, that's kind of like immature. It's like, no, but it gives a character. You're not as
But
just
see,
a
it's
stoic
offset by
fucking
the fact that she's
replacement.
actually competent, but not in a way that feels off.
Yeah,
Like there's nothing cartoony about her or what she's doing. She's just kind of having a good time.
yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
like
it's like
she
that and Dave, whatever his name is.
and then
Deva.
she decides to help Ethan because he spared her life, where it's just like, why the fuck did you spare my life?
But not just that he spared her, but like it's after she's been betrayed and she basically has no one else. And so
Uh-huh.
like the only thing she's got left because she knows she's bleeding to death is like, hey, I kind of know him and I'm dying, so I'm gonna do him a solid and like
I'm gonna return the favor.
be alone. Because here's the thing, she's got tears in her eyes as she's dying. Like she does not want to die. She's fucking afraid.
Yeah,
But
Right.
Yeah.
you can kind of like a level of depth that no side character in any of the other movies ever really got.
hmm
No.
And then
I hope the actress, I don't know if she's been in anything else, but I hope she gets bigger
She
roles.
looks
'Cause, like,
familiar.
she does look
I
familiar.
thought for a
She
second it was the
does.
person who played Kimiko, but I don't think it's that person.
No, it's definitely not.
No.
Kibiko's
No.
thick.
But I don't know.
Oh,
It's
did
like
we?
she made every bit of screen time count. So
Yeah, she
Yeah,
did.
she did.
And including like when she suddenly just saved everybody from the never-ending falling train.
Yeah, see, but
yeah,
the thing is, you're making fun of that, but like it's logically consistent how like it's falling apart.
uh-huh. And like
Yeah.
even though a literal piano is falling towards them, it's like, well, I mean, given what the Orient Express is supposed to be, it would be a piano on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also why it's like an old timey steam train because that's the attraction. It's not actually a fucking commuter line. It's basically a fucking hotel rails.
But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Good shit.
good shit.
I
Yeah.
really was not expecting this to be the best one.
Neither was I.
No,
Neither was
no.
I. I was
Because like I had
really
heard
expecting
it was
some
like a
shit.
mixed bag, and I'm like, I
I
mean,
don't know why. Who the
yeah,
fuck came
I
out of
don't
this one
get
and
it.
thought, you know what? I preferred it when it was cringe. Who? Who are you?
Who are you and why are you in my house?
Exactly.
So yeah, this movie was aces.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good.
Go watch it.
Yeah. And with that, we'll see you all. Like, this was part 99. That only means one thing. What's afterwards?
That means that the next
We
one
got
is the
99
one.
episodes and a bitch ain't one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah.
we'll see you all
Later.
for 100.
Yep.
Jog on.
Ah.
Bye.